Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel once again. And for today's video, I'm going to share my third team that I have used up in the new season of Go Battle League. And today's video is going to feature the return of the Spammy bulky Greedent with Mudshot over here. Being earlier it was having access to Bullet Seed, which was a 3-turn move, and now it is having access to Mudshot, which is a quick engineering move as well, and it is 2-turn fast move, which makes it a bit more consistent and is a good generalist in this meta over here because it have got access to Body Slam and coverage of Crunch for the Ghost types and Psychic types as well, and do neutral damage in situations where it soft lose the matchup against the steals over here. So since it's a normal typing over here, it will be needing coverage for fighting, and since it soft loses to steals as well, Medicham fits very good, giving it a good safe swap option over here for this team in this scenario. And alongside my closure over here would be the Azumarill over here. And since this team have got Greedent, Medicham and Azumarill, it's quite highly ranked on PV Poke in terms of bulk, safety and consistency, because the moveset of these three Pokemon is really good and strong. And if you guys you guys will be watching that I'm actually running Hydro Pump on my Azumarill over here and not Ice Beam, because I want to get kind of coverage on ground steals as well, maybe Steel X or maybe Galarian Stunfisk or maybe Probopass, which I faced up. So that is the reason I'm using Hydro Pump. And that will be all for the introduction, and let's quickly jump into the first battle, picking up a lead against Greninja over here. So Greninja is actually a tough lead because it is kind of a soft losing matchup, but I can easily come back with my backline to get a good amount of farm over here. And since Greedent is quite bulky, it does handle this Hydro Cannons quite well. It can take in one Hydro Cannon easily, and now I'll be going for back-to-back Body Slam, and 2 Body Slam does knock out Greninja from full health as well. And since I went for back-to-back Body Slams, I got the first shield from my opponent's end, and I'll be switching out into my Medicham to catch the next move of Hydro Cannon over here. And Medicham is a champ over here that can take in so much hit while doing a good amount of damage with counter, Ice Punch and Psychic as well, to which they swaps out into a Poliwrath over here that is running, I believe, counter, and they lets the next Psychic go through, which ends up being a very much disturbing thing because it just gets wrecked with the Psychic over here, and the final Pokemon that they have access to is going to be the Charizard over here. So Charizard is not likely looking good in this matchup because I have got Azumarill in the back, and since their front line was Greninja, it cold breaks their lead and their closure over here. To which I'll be going to put up my first shield, and I'll be going for the next Body Slam that does so much damage in this scenario over here, and I can easily go for the farm down onto this Charizard over here. So Charizard, anything that it throws, it is resisted, so I can let this next move go through as well. And now I think my opponent just recognized their fate and they left the game, but nevertheless I'll be going for my next player off to take out the Greninja, and since they have left or might be for lag, it will take some time to load up, and then I'll be going for my next player off that takes out the Greninja over here, giving the win for the first battle in this scenario. GG's. Moving on to the next battle, I pick up a lead against this Galarian Stunfisk, which is steel ground, and that is the reason I'll be quickly safe swapping into my own Medicham over here. Medicham, they have a good answer for Medicham as well, but since it's going to be part normal fairy, it will take neutral damage from these counters, and I do get the first shield from one Psychic over here, which is huge for me because now I've got a good core in my back that can handle kind of almost the top meta mons in this scenario. So I can let this next charge move go through, which is going to be the disarming voice, which does not hit too hard. But now I will be shielding up. I'll be doubling up on energy and moves. Beg your pardon, it's moves, and I'll be going for the next body slam that almost takes out the Greedent from that kind of range, and I can easily swap out into my own Azumarill to get iron energy. And if you guys can see the CP on the top right over here, this Galarian Stunfisk is actually underpowered, and what I believe they're actually running a single moved Stunfisk as well, because they have mischose and I went for the Hydro Cannon, beg your pardon, I went for the Hydro Pump, which gets shielded up, and now I can easily let this next move, I shield up over here perfectly, because I thought, that time I thought it's going to be a double moved, but later on I realized that it's underpowered and it might not be having the second charge move unlocked. So they will be going to spam out this rock slides over here, but nevertheless I can easily reach out to the next Hydro Pump that guarantees the knockout for this Stunfisk over here, and the backline over here in this scenario is going to be Charizard, but it is not good because I have to catch a move which I do perfectly, because Blast Burn from a Charizard to Azumarill on that kind of health range is quite threatening over here, and they went for a Dragon Claw bait, to which my Greedent does survive that as well. So I'll be going for the next body slam that does 40% of its health as well, and now I can easily go for the next play rough, which does enough race damage to take out the Charizard and get me the win for the second battle here as well. GG's, and that is the reason why I'm running Hydro Pump, because of the steel ground typings like Stunfisk and Steelix. Moving into the third battle, I pick up a lead against yet another Greninja over here. So Greninja, like as always, it will be spamming out this Hydro Cannons, but this time they are actually running Surf in this scenario. Surf is actually good as well, but it is having a kind of niche play with comparison to Hydro Cannon, because Hydro Cannon does so much more damage than Surf with same kind of energy, to which I'll be shielding up. So they shielded up the first body slam over here, and now I can easily swap out into my own Medicham like as always, and I can take in one Surf, and let's see what they comes back in with. So they comes back in with their own one of my favorite Pokemon, which is going to be Kanto Ninetales, that is running Weather Ball, Fire Spin, and might be the new Scorching Sands over here. But nevertheless, I will be going for my own Psychic, which will be hitting quite hard, and they lets it go. And now from this kind of range, with the defense drop, I can go for the farm down, which is huge for me. And now the final Pokemon that they have got access to is going to be the Serperior in this scenario. So Serperior is kind of threatening over here because it is quite bulky, and it does have access to Frenzy Plant and Leaf Tornado as well. So if I am not able to correctly call the Frenzy Plant, it might be a losing match for me, even if I am having shield advantage right now. So I come back with my own Azumarill to soak up the first Frenzy Plant, because I was quite sure that I will be losing the CMP tie with my own Greedent, and that's why I let the Greedent go down over here, because my win condition over here is going to be the Azumarill. And from this kind of range, I'm not sure if that was the correct decision or not, because Greedent was having a bit of energy, and if I would have shielded up the Frenzy Plant, I would have got to the next move, and they cannot come back with their Greninja and farm me down over here. And now I can easily go for the next. I should have went for the shield onto my Greedent over here, because as you guys can see, they can easily farm me down with Water Shuriken onto my Azumarill, and that ends up being a loss because of my bad gameplay over here. So it happens. So GG's to my friend. Moving on with the next battle, I pick up a lead against Azumarill over here. So Azumarill lead is kind of tough, but I cannot swap out directly because I don't have a hard answer to their Azumarill. So I'll be putting up so much effort to do chip damage, and soak up a bit of energy. But it was quite surprising that they put up both their shields over here onto this body slams over here from a Greedent in this scenario, to which they comes back in with their own Ivysaur over here, which I believe is a good pick because it's a spicy pick, because it's having access to Sludge Bomb and Power Whip. So as I was playing these battles, I thought of Ivysaur that is having access to Seed Bomb and Sludge Bomb. So that would have been so much great if Ivysaur gets hold of Seed Bomb over here. To which I'll be easily coming back with my own Medicham, because it is having access to Ice Punch and they cannot farm me down actually with Bubbles or this Vine Whips. So I shield up the next. I went for the first Ice Punch on the Ivysaur, and then I can shield up one player off, and I'll be going for the next Psychic to have a good amount of neutral damage over here. And they cannot farm me down again. Medicham with Bubble over here, so they have to go for the next move, which is going to be obviously a player off that does take me out. And now I'm in a commanding situation right now because I can easily load up on energy. Because they have to at least throw 3 player-ups to take me out, or maybe 4 as well. With shield it counts up to 5, so I'll be farming it down from this range. So I have to take in 2 player-ups, but they went for the next Ice Beam that it resisted because of my water typing on it, and I'm quite sure that whatever they have in the backline is not actually great against Azumarill, and which is correct because they have access to Zweilous, which takes double super acute damage from this player of. Goodbye Zweilous, and see you again in the next battle over here. So GG's to my opponent, well played. Moving into the final battle of the video and the set, I pick up a lead against Sylveon. So Sylveon, since it's a Charmer, I have to stay in this matchup because Medicham safe swap I cannot play in, and I will be going for this neutral body slam to do a good amount of chip damage as well, because Sylveon is not that tanky in Great League. Rather than Ultra League, it's quite tanky. It does have a really good stat product as well, to which they swaps out into their own Obstagoon over here, to which I have a perfect counter of my Medicham, because Medicham has absolutely zero play. Not zero play, it is having a really bad play against Sylveon, so I will be countering this Obstagoon with my Medicham, and they will be ramping up their defense actually with Obstruct and lowering my defense as well. But nevertheless, that won't help because now I have got so much energy with my Medicham that I can threat this Sylveon as well with these Ice Punches, and I'll be going back to back for it as well. So since both the shields are down right now, so they don't have any option to shield, and now I can easily come back with my Azumarill and get ahead on energy right now. So this is going to be the next Moonblast, which my Azumarill can take in because it's so defense heavy, and the final Pokemon that they have access to is going to be a Probopass over here. So Probopass is actually having access to Rock Slide and Thunderbolt, which I'm worried about, but they went for the Rock Slide. But I have access to Hydro Pump over here for this actual reason. Hydro Pump does so much damage onto this Probopass, and I can easily come back with my own Greedent, farm them down, and have enough energy for a Body Slam onto this Sylveon that definitely takes it out and gives me the win for the final battle here as well with this team and in this set. So Greedent, overall it is really better with the steel types with Mud Shot, but if it is against water ground, Seed Bomb would have been better. But in terms of safety and consistency mostly, it is bit more consistent than Bullet Seed, because Mud Shot is a 2-turn move. That is the reason why. So this team worked out really well for me because I went up all positive set, which I played with this team 4 sets, and it was really good for me. So if you're using this team, let me know how it is working out for you, and that will be all for this video. See you again in the next one. Till then, peace.